Hi everyone, it's Coach Blake and welcome to your 15-minute lower body strength class. All you need for this is yourself, some space around you, and a stable chair to hold on to. This is a standing class, but we're going to be using it for balance, stability, so make sure it's nice and stable, no wheels underneath of it. We're going to jump right into it. Let's go ahead and grab that chair. You're either going to be standing to the side of it, like so, or you can face the back of your chair if you'd like to have both hands on. But we're going to start with a slow march. So standing up as tall as you can, lifting one knee up, squeezing, and then switching. You also totally have the option of not holding onto the chair if you're like, no, I'm good. I'm like so good at balancing. I don't need it. Just know that that option is there, and I'm going to be using it the entire class. Really squeeze, standing tall. That bottom leg is strong and straight. This is a great way of warming up our hip flexors, our core, both of which we'll use during our strength portion. Let's go one more to both sides, and then we're gonna add on to this movement. So what we're gonna do, we're still gonna lift up in front of us, nice and tight, but then we're gonna reach it out to the side and down. You have the option of just standing away from your chair, or you can face it if you would rather go that route. Totally up to you. Just make sure we're controlling, we're moving slow. It's not about getting more reps in. It's about finding that tension, holding it, loving it. We've got a quick warm up today, just about 4 minutes. Let's go one more to both sides. Breathing. And then from there, go ahead and go both feet underneath of your hips. We're gonna get a slight bend in the knees. Knees are allowed to reach forward. We're gonna go for an alternating calf raise. So one heel lifts, the other one stays down strong. And we switch side to side. This movement is going to come up later on in our strength block, but it'll be ideally with both calf raises at the same time instead of alternating. But know that this will be the modification if needed. This is your workout, so you're gonna do what feels best for you. That's not just in workout classes, that's in life. Let's go one more to both sides. And then from there, stand up nice and tall, feet together. We're gonna go for 5 reps, kicking our right foot out to the side. Really feeling that glute and all those muscles on the side of your hip working. Squeeze in that top position. And once you've done those 5, we're gonna switch over to the other. So left foot, 5 reps. Nice and slow, nice and strong. And then lastly, we're gonna go for a little bit of a forward fold. I'm gonna move my chair over just for our strength block, and that is where it's gonna live. But for you guys, go ahead and step your feet out wider than your shoulders. Step back away from your chair so that sort of just fingertips are touching. And you're going to bend at the hip, hinge down slightly, keeping those legs nice and straight. And you should feel a nice big stretch in those hamstrings, potentially in your lower back, but we want to keep that lower back nice and straight. We've got about 10 more seconds. And then we're gonna start our strength block. So we're already in the perfect position holding on to our chair, but go ahead and stand up out of that hinge. Bring your feet in together, get a little bit closer to that chair, and we're gonna start with our left leg. So what's gonna happen? We're going to bend at the knee, bring that heel nice and tight to our booty, and then open the knees up and back in. And repeat. So we're staying on the left. We have a hamstring curl with a little bit of a hip abduction, working those glutes, the hips, that hamstring. 10 more seconds here. Stay tall, stay strong. 3, 2, 1, and rest. So our work today is gonna be for 30 seconds. You have 15 seconds to rest in between, so plenty of time to like shake it out, take a sip of water, towel off if you're sweaty. But let's go ahead and get ready on that right side in 3, 2, 1. Left leg is strong, right leg bends, separate, and retrace your steps to get back to the beginning. You want to almost like freeze the rest of your body. Make sure that when you separate those knees, you're not leaning over to the side. We want all the work to be coming from that glute. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 15. We have 2 more movements. The next movement is going to be a sumo squat. So go ahead and get your feet into that same position we did when we were stretching and hinging. We're now holding on to the chair. We're gonna bend at the knee and send the hips down and back. Chest stays up tall. We squat down and we stand up, squeeze our booty. However far down is entirely up to you and where you're at in your fitness journey. So if we only go a few inches, amazing. If we wanna try to go lower, awesome. Just make sure we're keeping that chest lifted and the knees are not coming to the inside of the feet. 3, 2, 1, and beautiful. You can step those feet back in, shake it out, rest. And our final movement is going to be that calf raise I talked about in our warm-up. So both hands are on our chair, feet right underneath of the hips. This time, we squeeze the booty, legs are straight, and we're gonna rise up onto our tippy toes and then control back down. Breathe. And the reps are totally up to you. If you're comfortable with this movement, maybe we go for a bit more. If we're not comfortable, we go slow. We test out the water. Make sure we're comfortable. And we have 2 more rounds of this, so plenty of time to get good and strong. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 1 round is done. We have 2 more of those movements, and then we're gonna cool down, stretch. So let's take these next 2 rounds to perfect our movements, see if we can make them a little bit better. Back to that curl in 3, 2, 1. Left leg bends, separate those knees, feel that glute squeezing, and retrace. How we doing? This workout shouldn't really be to the point of like where we're huffing and puffing, just because this is slower, controlled, more strength-based. We don't have any cardio going on today. 3, 2, 1, and beautiful. Shake it out, take that water if you need it. If you wanna dance on the, the rest, you can. We got that other side in 3, 2, 1, here we go. I really like doing movements where we're standing on one foot. Just because it helps us. It helps us get good when we're a little bit off balance. You can play around with your grip on the chair as well. If it's to the point where you're like, all right, I feel like I don't really need the chair, then go for a really loose fingertip grip. But just know it's there if you need it. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, we got that squat coming up. I think that this one is the hardest out of the 3 movements, but it's also kind of like the most fun. So nice wide feet, toes slightly turned out, hands on the chair, left squat. Sit down and stand up, squeeze, lock out those legs at the top. And again, make sure that our knees are in line with the toes, so at the bottom, we'll have nice wide open hips. This is really nice for our groin. Breathe. Chest is up, eyes are forward. 3, 2, 1, rest, step those feet in. We've got that calf raise. And remember, if the calf raise didn't really work with both feet at the same time, go back to what we did in the warm-up. We're going in 5, 3, 2, 1, here we go. Squeeze the booty, lock out those quads, press up, and control down. If we get to the point where we feel like our heels are dropping down at the top, maybe we hold on to the chair a little bit more to control. We want to go slow on the way down. Ten more seconds. And then this will wrap up round 2. My calves are already feeling it. Go ahead and rest. Shake out those legs if you need to. Are we having fun? I know I am. I hope you guys are too. 5 seconds. This is our final round. Let's make it our best. In 3, 2, 1, left leg bends and opens. If you get to the point where you cramp in your hamstring, it is okay. We've all been there. Try to shake it out. The worst though is when you cramp for like no reason. If you're like laying down and all of a sudden you have a muscle cramp, oh, I tell you, there's nothing worse. Nothing scarier when it just comes out of nowhere. At least this, it's like, oh, okay, it's because I'm using what I'm supposed to use. Go ahead and rest. 15 seconds. We got the other side. You might find that one side is a lot easier than the other. Most of us have a dominant side. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, right leg bends. You can also play around with maybe I'm only holding on with one hand. Maybe you try switching hands and see how that changes things. If it really pushes you off balance, then maybe we keep both. Can we pull the belly in a little bit tighter? How tall and proud is our chest? 3, 2, 1, rest. Right. Last time on that sumo squat. Let's make this one our best. And maybe we go a little bit further on this one if we feel comfortable. Wide feet, toes turned out in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. You never want to go low enough to the point where you're not going to be able to get back up. That should go without saying, but you know, sometimes it happens. Breathe. See if you can almost think about pushing your heels through the floor on the way up. That way we're using our glutes a little bit more. And again, whatever depth we're going to is amazing. 3, 2, 1, step in those feet. Last movement before our stretch. Let's do this. We've got that calf raise. Maybe we go for more reps. Maybe we go for more height in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Really squeeze in the top position. Kind of like when we were warming up and we lifted our knee and we really held in the top. Think of the calf raise the same. We lift and we hold and we squeeze. We find and keep the tension. Almost there. Last little bit of work. Go for one more. 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Amazing. Let's go ahead and take a sip of water before we get into our cool down stretch, just to make sure we are hydrating. Can't go wrong with drinking water. And from there, let's go ahead and stand to the side of our chair, turn to the left so that our right hand is on the back of it. We're going to cross our right foot behind the left. And then from there, we're going to be reaching this left arm up and over. So you almost want to think about pushing your hips to the left, using that chair for stability. If we don't like that arm reach, you can just keep your hand on your hip. You can go hand on your shoulder, wherever. This is all about the hip here. Gorgeous. And then we're gonna go ahead and turn all the way to the right this time. Left foot now is gonna cross behind the right. Right arm reaches up and over and we push the hips to the right. And again, feel free to take that right arm down to lessen the stretch a bit. We're actually gonna end with one of the positions we did at the end of our warm-up. So we stretch out the back of the body a bit. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. So go ahead and face the back of your chair. Step back away from it so that just fingertips can touch, feet are wide, and then send those hips back. Tip the torso forward. And feel that gorgeous stretch in the back of the legs for 10 seconds. Last 3, 2, 1. done and beautiful. Come on up. Inch those feet back in. Pat yourself on the back because that was 15 minutes of lower body work. Thank you so much for taking my class, and I can't wait to work out with you again next time.